In the early 90s, battle bunkers came in all shapes and sizes. They were must-haves for your game of Warhammer 40,000. And with my challenge to mimic Fred Reed's Howling Griffin army from White Dwarf 180, I need a couple of battle bunkers. In a recent video, I rescued this ready-made battle bunker, however, I didn't build it from scratch. And with a few comments saying that I was cheating, it's time to bust out the polystyrene and build my own battle bunker. Okay, so let's go. To start with, I've got myself this dummy cake stand that's made out of polystyrene, and I want to turn it into a square. So I've drawn a square on top, and with the polystyrene cutter, I'm just going to go down and form a cuboid out of this cylinder. This section of polystyrene then is going to form the basis of my building. And again, with the polystyrene cutters, I'm just going to form myself a little indent on the top where miniatures can stand. Using Plaster card, I'm going to encase the polystyrene. To form the detail to the turret, I've cut myself a pattern out of Plaster card, and I'm using that to pattern off 4 sections. Once I've done that, I'll cut them out and put them one side ready to be stuck on. Next, I turn my attention to the base. Using 5mm foam card, I'll roughly sketch out where I want the building to be and any additional bits. Once the foam card is cut to size, I then bevel off the edges. So, in addition to the turret, there's going to be an additional raised platform. To form this, I get myself some polystyrene board, then proceed to cut it out as per the sketch I had made on the base. Once cut out, using PVA glue, I then stick it into place. I needed to form some steps so my miniatures can run up and get into the bunker. I did this by using my trusty foam board, cutting out a large section first, then the slightly smaller section, then the third section, the smallest, and laying them on top of each other. Now it's time to glue the turret in place. I did this using hot glue, but you may want to be careful using hot glue with polystyrene. In this case, it was fine. Remember those decorative sections I cut out? Well, now it's time to stick them on. So after this first section of the build, you can really start to see what the building is going to look like. After leaving the building to dry overnight, the next section of the build can commence. This starts by adding some walls to the raised section. Using my little Terminator friend here to mark out the height of the walls, I measure the sections and then cut them out. Once cut out, I then draw in the firing holes and then cut them ones out as well. Toothpicks and PVA glue are used to stick down the walls. So as I did on the main turret, I used Plaster card to form some decorative panels to the walls. Using cut down pieces of polystyrene board measured to size, I use these to allow me to form the ground later on. No Space Marine building is complete without an Aquila, and I made these using Plaster card. Time to check that firing platform on the top of the turret. That's a little too deep, let's fill that up. I raised the level by using this high density blue foam, simply cut out a square of it and placed it in. To cap it off, I measured and cut some Plaster card, with using PVA glue, stuck it on top. To cap off the parapet wall to the turret, I beveled off some sections of Plaster card and stuck them around the edge. I then left the model to dry overnight, ready for the next stage. it's now time to get a bit messy. Using wall filler, I go round and fill any section where the polystyrene is still visible. Also using the filler, I start to form the ground. Once I've completed that, the model started to look like this. It's now time to leave this overnight again to dry. Using a watered down mixture of PVA glue and wall filler, I use this to texture the walls of the turret. Again, time to leave it to dry overnight, but this is what it looked like. So with the build finished, it's now time to paint. Because I encased the polystyrene with Plastercard, I was able to spray it black. I then gave the ground a base coat of brown. I then dry brush a triad of greys to give me a concrete feel. Then all was left to do was flock the base, sealing it in with some PVA glue. And there you have it, my very own scratch built battle bunker. Please guys, as always, leave some comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you think of my scratch built battle bunker. I must say I had an absolute blast making this. It was so much fun. And it's all mine, something that I built from scratch. With that guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Jump in my Discord server, you'll find the link in the description below. And as always guys, stay safe and I'll see you in the next one.